Hello guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I will be doing a guide video for the Twilight Forest dungeon. So without further ado, let's jump right into this video. So for this dungeon, if you want to deal good damage, you will need some basic items. For a starter, you do need to have some decent guild stones. You really want those high rolls on the boss AP, debuff damage percentage, and the base hit rate. So you're aiming for those stats on those guild stones at some high percentage. Now if you roll on a +3 guild stone like 200 boss AP, once you upgrade that to a +10, that will transform into a 500 AP guild stone. If you roll like a 15% debuff damage or 15% base hit rate, that will turn into 30% hit rate. Now guys, guild stones are very RNG, so it's not guaranteed that you will get the highest rolls on these. If you get like a 10% base hit rate or debuff damage percentage, you can upgrade that to a +10. That will give you like 20% base hit rate and debuff damage percentage, I think. So yeah, just work with that until you can get a better stone in the future. But for now, guild stones are very important for this dungeon, and you will also need debuff damage, guys. For this dungeon, you will need debuff damage, and in the future you will need a lot of it. So for starters, you do need to have like 30k debuff damage minimum. This will increase your damage significantly if you're hitting a knocked down, dazed, stunned, or aerial target. Also, it will increase your damage on grab target as well. So yeah. Also, you will need to have on the right insignias. So for starters, you do need to have your Berserker insignias, your Maim, your Devastation, and most importantly, your Twilight insignia. So yeah, that is the basic items you need for this dungeon to deal the most damage possible. So we're at the first boss, and this boss is pretty simple. So for this boss, you just need to DPS him until he hits 80%. The boss will jump to mid and he will spawn 3 mites. These mites will be linked to the boss, which will prevent you from CCing him, which is stun, dazed, knocked down. What you need to do is you need to intercept the link between the mite and the boss by CCing the mite. Once you stun, daze, or knock down the mite, you will get the link, and this link will count up to 20 stack. When the 20 stack is up, you'll become dazed and the boss will get back the link. Also, if you're too far away from the mite, you will lose the link. Now, if the boss has a link between him and the mite, you won't be able to CC him, which is stun or daze or knock down, to prevent his wipe attack. So how do you do this? So as soon as 80% hits, you need to get into position. Everyone needs to stand directly in front of their mite, and you will jump over the swipe. So he's going to do 5 swipes, and on the last swipe, he's going to delay this. So all you need to do is just jump over each of the swipes, and on the 4th or the 5th swipe, you're going to CC the mite. Then the boss will proceed to do a pizza slice dead zone to each of the person that is linked to a mite. He'll start with the furthest person. So how do you do this? So after you CC your mite, you need to get close to the boss. Then when the boss does his pizza slice directly at you, you need to move out of the way and then go back to your previous location. Now the reason for this is to prevent the pizzas from overlapping, and this will make it safer for you, because once the boss throws a pizza in your direction, he will not throw the pizza at you again unless someone who hasn't gotten their pizza enters your zone. So after I move back to my location, I'm pretty much safe. So if you haven't gotten your pizza slice, just wait. Don't enter another player's zone unless you're dodging. If you enter another player's zone, the boss will cast a pizza in your direction and they have to dodge that, and then they have to dodge their pizza. So that is 2 pizzas to deal with. So again, stay in your position in front of your might, dodge your own pizza, and go back to your previous location. For the tank, the boss will throw the last pizza at you. You need to stand at the zone where no might is at. So the boss will cast 4 pizzas in 4 different locations, and everyone should just deal with 1 pizza slice. Now after this, the boss will proceed to do a wipe attack. You need to wait until the shield goes down and then you do your CC, so you can either stun or not down. If you have a grab in your party, you should grab the boss right here and burst him. So yeah, that's pretty much the mechanics for the first boss. So let's go on to the last boss. So for this fight, there's 3 important roles you need to have at the start of the fight. You need someone to bait the boss, you need someone to CC the might, and you need someone to grab. So for the person who's baiting the boss, he needs to tank long enough for her CC bars to open. Now if you have a grabber, it is best for the grabber to do the baiting. Doing this, you will have like the other 3 party members doing full damage because they haven't activated their soul or proc certain items. So yeah, if it's possible for the grabber to bait, then it's best to let them bait. As a grabber, you're not doing any damage during the grab, so it's not a good idea for you to hold off your item procs. Give someone else a chance to use their item procs to deal more damage during the grab. So as a grabber, this is something that you have to get familiar with. This is the same concept for the Sanguine Abyss, as you know. So yeah, if for some reason the grabber can't bait the boss, let the grabber CC the might. Now if you're using the Berserker insignias, you should not be grabbing or CCing the might because this will throw off everything. So once you hit a target or you get hit, the Berserker insignias will activate for 6 seconds and the cooldown is 1 minute. If you CC the might, you will be behind on the Berserker insignias and it will not line up with your buff or your burst. So if you're baiting the boss, the start of the fight, the boss will do this normal attack. Then she will follow up with a knockback. Please, to avoid this attack, if you get hit, the boss will do a range check and will start over her rotation. So avoid this knockback, and then she will proceed to do a room-wide pizza kind of attack. Then you need to avoid this, and then she'll do another knockback. Please, to avoid this one, a lot of players get hit by it and then the boss range check. What I mean by this, if you're too far away as the bait, the boss will do a pull. This pull will activate your team members' Berserker insignias and other items will proc, and this will lower their burst. So most times when the bait range checks the boss, you see people reset because they're gonna lose a lot of damage just by this mistake. So as a bait, you need to perfect your tanking skills. Again, watch out for the knockback skills and you should be good. Right after this knockback, the boss will do a spin attack and then a outer one. So at this moment, you need someone in the party to CC the might. There will be this little purple might that is crawling around the field. He will be linked to the boss. If he's linked to the boss will have a shield active that prevents you from doing any form of KD or stun on her. So you need someone in the party to stun or KD this might. Once you do so, you will intercept the link. Same thing as the first boss. So it's pretty much the same concept. So once you intercept the link, you'll have this link for a certain amount of time. If you CC the might too early, you will lose the link and then the boss will regain this link. Again, the boss having this link will have a damage reduction shield and a CC immunity shield. So if you CC the might too early, the boss will get a shield during the grab and this will nerf your damage to nothing. So again, wait until after the pizza, then you CC the might. Now it's best to use a stun on the might and save your KD for the boss. So let's go back again. You start the fight, the boss will do a normal attack. This will not CC you. Then she will follow it up with a knockback. Please avoid this attack. Then she will do the pizza attack. The persons on the outside, they need to get ready to CC the mite. She will do a knockback. Please avoid this attack. At this moment, you need to CC the mite. At this point, you need to knock down the boss. If you have more than one knockdown skill, it is best to use them in case someone messes up. Now, you don't want to grab the boss as soon as she's KD. You want to wait until the last second to grab. If you are a sustained class, you need to DPS at this moment and DPS on that knockdown to get in those debuff damage. If you are a gunslinger or dual blade, you don't want to DPS until the boss is grabbed because you're doing most of your damage during the grab. Also, if you're a warlock and you're doing the baiting, you don't want to use your soul burn until the grab. So use your soul burn right before the grab. The boss has a damage reduction shield at the start, so there's no point buffing yourself. So shortly after, the boss will jump to mid and she will spawn 3 mites. These 3 mites will be linked to the boss, so again you need to intercept this link. You need to CC the mite and this will link you and the mite together. What you need to do is remove the link off your character. So how do you remove the link? If you CC'd a green mite, you need to keep moving. The more you move, you will stack up the debuff all the way to 20. Once it hits 20, the link will be broken and the mite will start to release orbs. If you CC'd a red mite, you need to stand still and this will stack the debuff all the way to 20 and that mite will proceed to spawn the red orb. So once again, you intercept the link between the mites and the boss. Once you do that, you need to remove the link off your character. If it's green, you need to keep moving until it stacks up to 20. If it's red, you need to stand still until it stacks up to 20. If it's yellow, you need to get close to someone until it stacks up to 20. If you need to stand close to someone for the yellow, just go to the boss where the tank is and you should be good. Once again, you need to free yourself of the link in order for the orbs to spawn. So if you hit the red mite and you don't free yourself of the link, there will be no red orbs. So make sure to cut the link ASAP. Now the boss will proceed to do a knockback. So you can see her charging up. What you need to do is iframe this attack. Now you can go on your keyboard and press SS. This will do a backstep and this is like a delayed iframe. It is really good to use SS in this dungeon. You are going to need it. And a lot of new players don't know that you can do this. So now you know. At this point, the boss will proceed to do a series of knockback. You need to avoid this and you need to avoid getting hit by the orb. So if the boss knocks you back into an orb, you will die for sure. So after the boss does the front and back attack, she will open her CC bars. Everyone in the party needs to knock her down. If you don't knock her down, she will do a big room-wide knockback and this will send the whole party flying through the air. If you get launched into an orb, you will die. So what I would advise to do is to knock her down and then backstep in case your party fails. Or knock her down and then iframe. You can also press Ctrl and 1 while aiming the boss to set a 3-second timer to alert your party members when to knock down, okay? So because you CC'd the green mite earlier, you will have a green orb over your head. You need to stack this all the way up to 5 stack to get the enhanced version of this. But keep in mind, you have 30 seconds to refresh this color before you lose it. So the question is, how do you stack your color up to 5 stack? You stack them by blocking the same colored orbs. So I have a green orb over my head. I block the green orbs that are flying around. If the orbs touches you, it will deal a lot of damage and in some cases, it will kill you. So how do you stack your color if you lose it? Or if you didn't CC a mite from earlier and didn't get a color, how do you get one? So you might think, oh, let me just block an orb and I will get that color. No, that is not how it works. Now, if you're looking around the room, you will see some special orbs flying around. They have some rings around them like a gray color going around the green and the reds. So you need to look out for those orbs. Those orbs are special orbs and they will give you the color mutation buff. Now you can see me looking around for these orbs. Now these orbs, they tend to spawn on the outer bank, so you can see I blocked it and I got the color mutation buff. With this buff, the next orb that you block, you will get a full 5 stack, and this will also amplify your damage and allow you to pierce any shield with the same color. So at this point, there will be some ads that are spawning around the room. These ads will have some shield around them of a certain color. Now, in order to kill the ads, you need to match the color. So the color over your head needs to be the same color as the ad shield. If you're matching the ads, then you can kill them. Once you kill them, you need to get inside the aura that is left behind to get the color mutation buff. And again, the color mutation buff will amplify your damage and it will allow you to get a full stack of the next orb that you block. So now that you have the full 5 stack color over your head, which is the big mark over your head, you need to keep this up by blocking a green orb now and then. You have 30 seconds to refresh this buff. If you don't refresh, you will have to get a special orb to get the color mutation buff and then block a orb of your choice to get a full 5 stack of that. So you have two choices. You can either stack up to 5 orbs by blocking 5 normal orbs, considering that you had the color at the start of the phase, or you can just get the color mutation buff by blocking the special orb and then blocking a colored orb of your choice. Now guys, something to note: if you try to attack the ad and you don't have a color, or you have the incorrect color, you will be dazed and you cannot hit the ad. So again, make sure you're matching the color of the shield with the orb over your head. So after you kill the third ad, the boss will gain a green shield. With this green shield, you need to reduce it from 100 stacks to 0 and then KD the boss. Now, as you can see, the shield is up and it starts to go down when people with the enhanced color is hitting the boss. So you need to have the 5 stack of the color in order to reduce this. In other words, you need to have the big color over your head, the big marker over your head, not the small one. So as you can see, every time I hit the boss, the shield will go down and you have 10 seconds to get this to 0. If you don't get this to 0 in time, you won't be able to KD the boss or CC the boss. At this point, you need to use your buff skill and your burst skill and you need to break the boss. So you need to break the boss the moment the KD goes off to deal a ton of damage on that KD. Then the boss will get up and do a room-wide knockback, so be prepared to iframe. So the boss will jump back to mid and she will spawn 3 mites again, but this time there will be a red one, and again you need to break the link between the boss and the mite by CCing. If you have the green mite, you need to keep moving to remove the link off you. If you have the red one, you need to stand still to remove the link. If you don't remove the link off the boss and then off you, you won't get the orbs of that color. So if you are the red one and you don't break the link in time, there will be no red orbs. Same thing goes for the green mite. So you need to break the link. Also guys, I forgot to mention, when you use your soul burn or your burst at the start of the fight, that is the grab, when the 1 minute timer hits, you need to use those skills ASAP to benefit from your berserker. So if you are a dual blade or a gunslinger or a warlock with a buff or a tree bard, whichever, you need to use those skills to benefit from them, because you can burst and then have your burst ready again for the shield phase where you need to KD and break. So make sure to take advantage of those timers. Now, this is how you're going to keep up your damage in this dungeon. Now, for the first ad that spawns, you don't need everyone in the party on that ad. You just need like 1 player, because the HP will increase as we go to the third ad. Also, you only get the color mutation buff from the ad when you kill it. if you deal damage to it. So if you didn't kill the ad, you will not get the color mutation buff from the aura that is left behind. So make sure to hit the ad in order to refresh your color mutation buff, or you can block a special orb. Now, as you can see, my soul burn is coming up, so I will use it ASAP. If you wait too long, it will not sync up at the shield phase. So use it ASAP, and by the time the boss will have up the shield, you'll have your soul burn again to burst on that KD. Now on the second phase, the third ad will be a red one, so you need to switch your color from green to red. So you need to make sure you have the color mutation buff and then block a red orb. But keep in mind, you want a maximum of 2 persons on the red ad. If everyone is on the red ad, right after killing the ad, you need everyone to switch from red to green by blocking a orb, and then you need them to reduce the shield, and then you need to land the KD, or else it's a wipe. This you need to do in 10 seconds. So that is why I say you need at least 2 people to stay on green and constantly hitting the boss, and this should be the highest hit rate classes. Now this is where a lot of parties are messing up. Before you kill the red ad, make sure the orbs are on the field so you can switch your colors. If you kill the ad and there's no orbs on the field, how are your party members going to switch from red to green? How? So you wait until the orbs are on the field, so once they kill, they grab the mutation buff, they block the orb, and they help to reduce the shield. Keep in mind, we already selected 2 players that should keep their 5 stack of green, in case the red ad players don't get to switch in time. Also, you don't have to use 2 players for red. Depending on the DPS, you can just use 1 person for red. So for the third phase, it's pretty much the same concept, just different colors. So the boss will spawn 3 mites, red, red, and yellow. For the red one, you CC them and you stand still to unlink. For the yellow one, you need to be close to another player in order to stat this to 20 to unlink. So just go close to the boss where the tank is and you should be good. So the first ad will be red. You DPS like normal, get the mutation buff, and you DPS. The second ad will be red, and for the third ad, you need a maximum of 1 or 2 players to deal with this. And before you kill the yellow ad, you want to make sure that orbs are on the field for you to switch back. Again, you want your highest hit rate classes to be on the red because the boss shield at this phase will be red. So it's pretty much a simple concept, but most players will not reach to the third phase. So that is a good thing. Anyways guys, thank you so much for watching this video. If you want to see more content like this, like, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell icon to stay updated on when I post new videos. Goodbye.